What if I told you there's a magical assistant that never sleeps, never gets tired, and can help you find thousands of dollars in scholarships to help you pay for college? Well, it's not me, but today we're going to turn AI into your personal fairy godmother, or maybe a genie. I'm going to share two different prompts to get you started, some words of warning about AI, and a quick win you can use right away. So stick with me through the whole thing, because at the end, I'm going to give you my 5 free prompts that you can adapt for your own interests and special uniqueness. Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Schoen from College TNT, and today we're starting a 2-part series exploring how to use Magi and Perplexity AI to uncover scholarship opportunities that are perfect for you and unique to you. Think of it as having the genie from Aladdin grant you unlimited wishes for finding college money. Now, don't forget to subscribe so you know when part 2 is posted. Now, stay with me through parts 1 and 2 because I'm going to show you some more complicated prompts that combine your unique interests, your skills, who you are in a way that is more difficult to do with a traditional search engine. So hang on and I'll show you exactly how to do that using AI. All right, let's start with understanding why Magi is such a powerful tool for scholarship searches. It's what I use. And unlike traditional search engines, Magi has many AI tools for you to use. And within Magi, I recommend Perplexity. Now, Perplexity is cool because it understands like complex and unique combinations of criteria, and it can help you iterate your search to find exactly what you need. I'll share a link for Magi at the end that'll give you 7 days free, and then you can decide if you want to do that. Plus, it'll help support College TNT. First, let's look at 2 different prompts that will transform your scholarship search. I'll use a model student, an example student, but remember, you can easily swap out your information if you want. Now, in this student, you can include work experience, where you live, what sports you play, activities, your GPA, how you're doing in AP test scores, what you do for service. All of those things can be included in how you're looking. So the very first thing I want to do is what I'm calling the local hero search. All right, and we're going to ask it to find some specific scholarships. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can look through this. So this is what Magi looks like once you sign in and do a few things. And then what you're going to do is you're going to type in what it is you want to search for. So I made this one kind of simple, okay? Find scholarships, because I think it's great to start local because those are small scholarships, and you heard me in a previous video talk about small scholarships can add up and be super significant. So let's start local. Let's find scholarships specifically for students in the Minneapolis suburbs of Minnesota. Okay, that's my model student. And then I've asked it to include local business scholarships, community foundation grants, and county-specific opportunities. So then I'm just going to click on start, and it's going to go ahead. Now, a couple things while it's thinking. I don't know if you can see this, but up top here, you'll see Perplexity Sonar. So I'm using the Perplexity, and then I'm using the academic researcher because I want somebody who can go in and find things online. So I specifically set it up for those 2 things. And you can set it up for all kinds of things, but I'm specifically using Perplexity for a reason because I think it does good online research and it will share where it finds things with you. So you can see here, AI provided information sources, and here we go. Here's some examples. Here, I mean, this is, look at this. We just put this in and look how many we found already. Now, they might not all work for you because we're being very broad here. So you have to then do the work. AI helps you search, but you still have to do some work. You go in and you can click on these things like the link here, and it will take you where you want to go, or you can go back and you can look at these other things and you can just scroll down and see what is there. And there are all kinds of things. So here are great opportunities for you to look for scholarships. And it even gives you all the different sources that it used. So you can go right to the URL search and find out. And I just think that is so amazing. And it's really like a genie. And you will have a good time kind of using these and finding these. Just remember that you can iterate If you're not from Minnesota or Minneapolis suburbs, put something else in there. Be more specific. Just include local business scholarships. Start there. Put what your parents' employers are and see if they have scholarships. You can just plug that in and start to look, and it will work for you pretty quickly. So I'm really excited to share that with you. All right, so now I'm going to do another search. And what I want to do this time is I want to look for the academic achievement matcher. That's what I'm calling it, right? So for your academic achievement, you might want to put in if you've won any awards, if you're part of National Honor Society, what your GPA is, what your AP test scores are, what your SAT or ACT test scores are. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to include scholarships that are the 3.7 GPA, right? And 4s on the AP Literature and American History AP test scores. So let's go ahead. Let's make sure you can see that. Okay, you can see that. Again, Perplexity Sonar Academic Researcher is what I have for the persona and the type I'm using. Again, there are going to be some words of warning, so look out. It can be great, but it can also be dangerous. All right, so here's what we're going to look for. List the scholarships available. And again, we're going to click on that. And I probably should have clicked on that while I was showing you the different ways you can choose Perplexity in Magi or ChatGPT or Gemini or a lot of other options and the different persona. So here we go. AI is searching the web because that's what Perplexity does. It's specifically designed to look online for scholarships based on the prompt that you put in. All right, so here we go. Again, we put it in and it knows you're in Minnesota because of that previous search we did. And there you go. University of Minnesota Twin Cities. If that is a place you're interested in going with, there are some merit scholarships. St. Thomas, Masonic Charities. I mean, look at all of these things. And again, these are all showing up and there are many of them, but they might not all suit you. So AI will come up with them, but don't just go applying to them all willy-nilly. I need you to go then and check out like what it is that they're looking for to see if you have at least most of them so you can throw your hat in the ring and go ahead and get that scholarship. So I think that's pretty exciting. And at the end, I'll have a QR code and I'll share 5 different prompts, and I'm going to do the next 3 prompts in the next video. But there's 5 prompts you can use, and there's all kinds of ways that you can adapt them based on who you are. And that's the cool thing about AI. So there you go. And once again, it gives us a place to go and find it to make sure we can discover what it is we're looking for. So I just think that's a great tool for you to use if you use it wisely, right? So here we go with my words of caution. And I have a few of them. The first is use AI for your search, but you do need to verify that these scholarships are right for you. And that is that you have most of the qualifications they're looking for. You may not have all of them, but hopefully you have most of them, and then go ahead and apply. Sometimes AI, and I know ChatGPT, has been known to make things up that do not exist. I could tell you some stories about that. So use AI wisely. Now, the second thing I want you to remember is do not use AI to write your essay. Take the time to craft an essay that answers the questions that the scholarship is looking for, and know that AI is still fairly easy to spot, and that there are all kinds of tools in place that are also catching up a little bit with AI, whether it's analyzing the typing pattern of the essay. So it can say like, oh, look at how fast they type. Not a human typed that, or no human typed that. Or there's sometimes AI codes buried in what is written. And if you're cutting and pasting, there's a system that checks for that. If they're using that, they might find it. And it seems kind of like you were lazy. I just used AI. I don't really care about the scholarship. I'm applying to everything I can find. So do take the time to go ahead and actually write your scholarship. It's so important, and it will make a much better impression. As I said, please do that. That's my request for not using your essay to do that, and for being aware of those tools. All right. So finally, I always promise a quick win. So I'm going to give you a quick win in this video. And in part 2, I'm going to give you some deeper dives to help you take actionable steps right when you're using AI. Here's something you can do right now, whether you have access to Magi or Google, because of course Google is using AI. It's still a little more complicated though. You can use quotation marks and an and to put things together. But if you can use AI, if you have the time and you want to, like I said, do the 7-day trial, give it a shot. But here's what I would say. Start with the local search prompt that I just used, plug in all your own things, and then use follow-up questions to dig deeper. Okay. AI is iterative, which means you should always go yes and ask it to think of other things. So think of it just a way to help you search, and then you can keep iterating and iterating. The yes and is, it may give you things you hadn't thought of, and then you may say like, oh yes, and find me more like this, or find me more that also has this quality and this quality because I have those qualities. Or you can ask follow-up questions like, is there anything I'm missing if this is my resume? And you can even upload your resume and say like, okay, look through these things and tell me some scholarship questions I might ask, and AI will help you with that. It's important, to use your brain and come up with your own questions, but that questioning part can be very significant. And it's a great tool, A, if you're going to go into research, B, if you're doing any kind of critical thinking, you always want to ask critical questions of AI. Iterating like this and asking questions is a good skill to learn. Okay, so I talked about iterating, I talked about follow-up questions. If you want to get started before you even watch part 2, you'll find my link to Magi in the show notes and right here in the QR code. Magi will help you access many AI tools in one, like I showed you, including Perplexity. And using my link helps support College TNT. And so that's really important to me, and I appreciate that. As of this recording, the link will give you a 7-day trial. And after that, Magi is $20 a month. I think you'll be amazed how much easier your scholarship search becomes with your AI Genie as your assistant. Now, if you want some ideas on what to enter in the prompts, what to use, what to think about, demographics, everything, activities, sports, and some sample prompts you can just cut and paste after you put in your own information, check out right there the QR code. And that will give you some great prompts that you can use and a few other tips too. And you'll be on my email list. Well, I'm going to send you 4 different emails that also have more tips on scholarship searches. So don't forget to subscribe so that you can get part 2 when it comes out and see more about how to use AI. Thanks so much for joining me today. You can reach me at collegetnt.com, or you can email me at jen@collegetnt.com. I would love to hear from you, to answer your questions, or if you have this brilliant idea for how I can get Star Wars in there to talk about the college journey, I'm all for it. So send that my way. Now you have some great knowledge. Get out there and start finding those scholarships. Good luck to you.